If you get a question regarding comparisons of topologies, the most common two that you might have to compare is the bus and the star. I've tried to create a little sort of table of main things that you might want to remember. So, advantages of a bus is it's simple to install and it's usually cheaper than other topologies because of the sort of cabling and lack of hardware that you need. It's really easy to add systems to the network, because if you want to join a new computer to the bus topology, you can literally either just use one of those T connectors or just vampire tap and just join into that backbone, and you're there. And it's a decent solution for very small networks. The disadvantages is that if any connection breaks down, the signal will bounce back and forth, resulting in the total breakdown of the network. And it's also quite difficult to troubleshoot. So if you come in the morning and there's a machine not working, it's difficult. Well, the network's not working. It's difficult to work out where the point of failure was, which isn't a great thing. It's all right for small networks, but the bigger it gets, the bigger the issue that is. The advantages of a star is it's got a single point of failure, which is advantages is there isn't a single point of failure, because if one of the connection goes down, it won't bring down the whole network. However, that single point of failure could be the central point, which is your hub, typically your hub or your switch. Okay, but that's one point. Because of this, it's easier to troubleshoot, because if you come in the morning, the whole network's down, it's probably that central point, because if that fails, the whole thing fails. But other than that, if one computer's down, it's probably the connection between the computer and that central point. It's very easy to troubleshoot because of the way it's set up. It should be quicker because each device has got its own cable. And for that reason, not only can devices communicate at the same time, it should also be more secure, because not every machine should receive all information that's going across the network. This will be talked about in more detail in more videos, because obviously depending on whether you've got a hub or a switch in the middle, affects that security. Because if it's a hub, that isn't very secure because everybody's still getting everything. If it's a switch, at the very start, a switch isn't very secure, but it becomes secure as it builds its switch table and starts directing traffic just to where it's intended. Disadvantage of a star is there's more cables and more hardware needed, so the cost is higher, and just that there is one central point of failure where if that goes down, the network goes down. But generally speaking, a star in most cases is better than a bus.